Hi, I'm David Hankins.
And I'm Paul Hankins.
And this is a Week in Power Squared, number 53.
That's right.
Yeah, last week we celebrated our first anniversary of this series of vlogs. And we've also this week had some birthdays.
That's right.
We're both a year older than we were last Sunday. So do you feel any different, really?
Not immediately, I guess.
Right. Well, and I don't really feel any different either. I know we won't get into ages here.
Right.
But anyway, we just thought we'd get that out of the way.
So welcome to Season 2 of
A Week in Power Squared. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I give us credit for doing it. I want to talk a little bit about other things that we're doing. We've did our fifth podcast of On the Air with Power Squared on Friday.
Yes.
And that's available
on
Podbean
and iTunes.
Right. And you can find those, if you haven't already, through the website, which is powersquaredcomicbook.com/join. And there's links to both the iTunes and the Podbean cast.
Yeah.
So it's easy to find. And while you're there, you can subscribe to the newsletter.
Yes.
And we appreciate that as well, as we're trying to, again, to grow interest in the comic book.
Yes.
Power Squared, which is why we're here. Something else we're working on is we finally have a mascot for, I guess, all things Power Squared, which is this guy. And we're looking for a nickname. Like most mascots have a nickname. It's Tommy Trojan, it's Bevo the Longhorn, it's Rowdy. Those are the examples I came across quickly.
Even band mascots have names.
Right.
Like Iron Maiden's Eddie or Megadeth's Vic Rattlehead.
Right. So we're hoping that you might help us come up with a nickname. And there is actually a poll question on the website. Which again is powersquaredcomicbook.com/poll, and we're asking. We gave you 4 choices. It's Elvis, Romero, Champ, and King. And there's also a place where you can add in your own. If you have something else you think is a better nickname, we're open to that. And it's also available on Twitter at Marty and Eli. There's a poll question there if you'd rather go to Twitter, or
if you'd rather, you can leave it in the comments below.
Right. So
they will count towards
there's no excuse not to vote.
Your vote does matter.
Right. And so we would encourage you to vote and vote often, as they say. So we work, besides all the fun stuff, birthdays and mascots, work does continue on the comic book. Earlier this week we got, early this week, we got 4 pages from Rachel.
Yes.
That were pencils from issue 12. And so we're hoping to get those, inked and get those on to the next step, which would be Nina the colorist and Trevor the letterer.
Yeah.
And keep this thing going forward. And I know that we talked a lot about the Kickstarter and all that, and this really wasn't a great week for doing a lot of stuff like that, because we had a birthday, you started a class, and we had another birthday, so we're kind of that's no excuse, but we are sort of a little behind on some of the Kickstarter kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but hey, give us a break. We're older. So anyway, anything else you want to talk about while we're here?
Can't really think of anything.
Okay, sorry, I was put on the spot there.
We did see Treasure Planet finally.
Right. You want to talk about that?
Sure.
Okay. What do you think about Treasure Planet?
I thought it was actually pretty good.
And it came out when? Like a bunch of years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this isn't like a current go out in the theater and see it. But.
No, but it was a movie that has come up a lot. Especially in like animation classes
that Trevor's taking.
Yeah, like Trevor is taking, and it came up a lot when people were speculating on Kingdom Hearts 3 worlds.
Okay, so the streams have crossed, so to
Yeah.
speak. Yeah. So we watched it on Friday.
Yes.
And what did you think?
I thought it actually aged fairly well.
Okay.
It's a faithful adaptation of Treasure Island, which Disney has actually adapted to live action before.
Right.
That was also decades ago.
Yes. A lot of the what we think of as pirates came from that film version.
Yeah.
A lot of this R, and when people have pirate, speak like a pirate day, that's what they kind of revert back to.
Yeah.
What was in that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right.
Like peg legs and parrots also came from that.
Yeah, that comes over. They're in the book too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
probably not as prominently, but
okay. It's been a while
anyway.
since I read that, I must admit.
Anyway,
Okay.
the story and characters are well done.
Mm-hmm.
The animation is also really good, reminiscent of Atlantis in a way.
Okay.
Kind of
Another movie we rewatched recently.
yeah. Although in this case it's more steampunk
Right.
mixed with sci-fi elements because it's literally Treasure Island in space.
Right.
However, I would say some of the CG didn't age quite as well.
Right.
Atlantis kind of had a similar issue.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a little, and there'll be eventually be a review up on Trophy Unlocked.
Yeah, much more in depth one.
But that'll probably come in after October,
Yes.
because I guess we'll go ahead and plug it. October is horror month on Trophy Unlocked,
That's right.
and we've got some movies lined up that we will be reviewing. And I guess, is there a link also to that below?
Yes.
Okay.
Link in the description.
So we encourage you to read that as well. We have so much stuff. Okay. Anything else?
I think that's about it.
Okay. Well, if you liked,
If you like this video, leave a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. Ring the notification bell if you want to see exactly when these videos go up. And make sure to leave any feedback you have about our series in the comments.
right. And again, we encourage you to vote on a nickname for the mascot. And until next week, I'm David Hankins,
I'm Paul Hankins.
and this has been a week in Power Squared.